discussing the line balancing algorithms. There are three methods: the largest candidate rule, the Kilbridge and Wester method, and the rank position weight method. So we have already taken one problem as a standard example, and we are going to solve all the three methods with respect to the same problem. So we have already discussed about how to solve the largest candidate rule. Next is the Kilbridge and Wester method. So today we will see how this line balancing problem can be taken care or can be solved by the rank position weights method. Is the screen visible? Okay, is the slide visible to all? I'm not asking you all any questions, at least these basic feedbacks I
No, ma'am, no, ma'am.
now see, is the slide visible?
No, ma'am.
Now
Yes, ma'am.
it's visible, right? The ranked position weights method.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So this is the third line balancing algorithm. We'll quickly see what it is. Almost all half of the procedure remains the same as we have solved for the largest candidate rule, but there are some other prior requirements that need to be taken care of. Let's see what we have to do here. So here the rank positional weight values is computed for each element. Okay, so there are these rank positional weight values that we have to determine or we have to calculate for every work element that is there, and I will tell you how that can be done. So this rank position weight, it takes into account both the TEK value and its position in the precedence diagram. So if you consider the largest candidate rule, it only considers the TEK values when you arrange them in the descending order, and so not considering or not taking the precedence diagram much into consideration. We just go on allotting or assigning the work elements based on the TEK values. But now when it comes to this rank position weight method, it's not just the TEK values but also the precedence constraints that are taken into consideration. Therefore, this rank position weight method is considered to be giving you a superior result in comparison with the other two methods. So specifically, this RPW is calculated by summing the TEK and all other times for elements that follow the TEK in the arrow chain of precedence diagram. So we have the precedence diagram when it comes to solving the problems for any of this line balancing algorithm. The very first step would be to just get the answers for what is the TWC value, that is the total work content time, what is the service time, what is the TR value, and all other things that they ask you to find. Okay. So once you find that, the very next step always is going to be to draw a precedence diagram. So precedence diagram is very important for all of these three methods. With the given data, you first draw the precedence diagram. And with the help of that precedence diagram, you're going to get the rank position weights value. How we do that, I'll show you in the next slide. So the elements are compiled into list according to their RP values, RPW values, and the algorithm proceeds using the same three steps as before. So as I said, half of the problem solving method is going to be the same as we have done for the other two methods. Okay, so let us see how this RPW must be calculated for each element. Okay. first. This is the diagram that we have. That is the precedence diagram. This is our precedence diagram. Okay, so once you have this precedence diagram in place, once you have drawn the precedence diagram correctly, the next step is to calculate the RPW value. Now I'm going to calculate the RPW value, that is ranked position weight, for the first work element. Okay, for the first work element, that is here, this is our first work element having the TEK value of zero point 0.2. RPW value will be calculated by summing all the values that follow this work element. For example, if you consider the first work element, here it is mentioned here. RPW value is calculated by summing the TK and all other times for elements that follow TK in the arrow chain of precedence diagram. So we have this precedence diagram, and if you consider the first work element, you have to follow all the sorry, you have to sum all the work elements that follow this work element 1. So here for RPW, the RPW value for the first work element will be zero point 0.2 plus zero point 0.7, because 3 is followed, sorry, yeah, 3 is put after 1. After that, it is also getting connected with 4, so there is zero point 0.1. Next, there is 6, because all of these are linked, right? They are all connected. And you follow the arrows till the end and go on summing all the TEK values. So after that, you have 6, which will be 0.11. Likewise, you have 7, you have 8, then you have 9. You also have 10, that is 0.38, because it is all connected to 1, right? Directly or indirectly connected to 1. And then you go to 11, and then you go to the 12th work element. All the TK values that are given here, it is 0.5, 0.12, 0.38, 0.27, 0.6, 0.32, 0.11, 0.7, 0.1, and zero point 0.2. All of these will be put in one under one calculation, and you sum all of these TK values to get the RPW for first work element. Now, why don't I consider 2 and 5 here? Because 2 and 5, they are not linked to 1. Anything that is not linked to that particular work element, you don't consider it while calculating the RPW value. Okay, now let us calculate for the value of RPW for the element 2. Now this is the element 2 that we have here. Okay, you start with this, that is zero point 0.4. To 2 we have 4 connected, we have 5 connected. We have 1 connected to 2? No, so you do not consider zero point 0.2 here. So you have 4, you have 3, to 4 there is 8, to 5 there is 10, right? You cannot take 3 because you have to follow the arrow. From 3 it is coming to 8, from 8 it is not going to 3, so you cannot go to 3 or consider zero point 0.7 in summing up the TEK values. So after 4 you have 8, from 8 you have 9, from 8 you have 9, and also from 8 you have 10, also from 5 you had 10, so you're going to consider the value only once. And then after 10 you have 11, and from 11 you have 12. So if you see here, you have 0 0.4, 0 0.1, 0 0.3, 0 0.6, 0.38, 0.27, 0.5, and 0.12. So when you sum all of these value, you get the RPW value as 2.67. So this is how you are going to find the RPW value for all the work elements. You have 12 work elements here, and you have to find the RPW value for every work element. For example, if I want to find after 1 and 2, then you can count it for 3. For 3, it's going to be, you follow these arrows. So from 3, it will be zero point 0.7 plus 0.11 plus 0.32, 0.6. Then it goes to 0.27. From here, from 9, it goes here. Also from 8, it goes to 10. So you have to follow these arrows, and only those TK values should be summed in order to get the RPW value of that particular work element. So following this, you're going to find the RPW value for each work element, and these are the answers that you get. The first two were already shown in the previous slide. For 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, these are the RPW values. But please remember well that you have to follow the direction of the arrow. You cannot come in the reverse way. and only those which are having a connect with that particular work element whose RPW value you are finding out, only those should be considered in summing. You do not go for other work elements which are not directly connected to that particular work element. So this is how you're going to calculate the RPW values for all the 12 work elements in this problem. Having done this, you have to next arrange all these RPW values in the descending order in the table. So we already have this table given. As I said, this is the same problem that we are discussing. So we already have this column for work element. We have the column known for TEK values. We have the precedence column also. But here we are going to have an additional column of RPW. And how do we arrange them? We already have all the RPW values from 1 to 12, all the RPW values. Considering all these RPW values, you are going to arrange them in descending order. And corresponding um, TEK values, precedence values, all of those should be correspondingly arranged. Okay, so if you can see here, RPW value for first work element 3.3. So this is all arranged in descending order if you can see. So arrange the RPW values in descending order and put the respective work element TK value and preceded by values along with it. So this is the next step. So first step is to find all the given asked data, that is you find what is TWC, TS and all of those values. Having done that, you have to draw the precedence diagram. After you complete the precedence diagram, you have to find what are the rank position weights. What are the rank position weight values for all the elements, and they can be found out by following the arrows. Those particular elements only should be considered which are in the direction of the arrows. Do not go for those elements which are not followed by those arrows. You're not going to consider those. So having done this, you're going to find the RPW values. After you get RPW value for all the work elements, you put it into such a table. With respect to RPW value, you're going to arrange all the work element values in descending order, and then the corresponding work element TK and the preceded by values or the data has to be entered. So the next step is going to be assignment of the work elements to the different workstations. So line balancing basically aims at equal distribution of work elements at every station. So first let us now find how many workstations are going to be required, and then we'll find what is the line balancing efficiency. So here is the board visible? Yes, is the board visible? Whiteboard?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. It will be good if you people start solving the problem simultaneously as I'm explaining. So the next step is how you're going to assign all the work elements to different workstations. This will help us understand how many workstations will be actually required in order to distribute or complete this task. Okay, so So this table we have already written. Okay, this table is already there. I said you're going to put this table with work element RPW in the descending order and all the corresponding work elements TK and the preceded by values. Once you make this table ready, with help of this table, you will get the final assignment table. Okay, so for this also, like in the other problems, the other methods, same way this table also should be made. Here you will be writing the number of workstations required, what is the work element, what are the TEK values, and what is the station time. Okay, so now let us go for assigning these. As we know, this is arranged, this column is according to the descending order of the RPW values. So let us start with the first one. Now, our reference is not RPW value while getting the workstation. Of course, our reference is there, but then we are going to concentrate more on the TK values here, right? So let us start with it at first workstation. So you start with first workstation, you write it as station number one. In station number one, what work elements can be put in? Let us see. First of all, work element 1 RPW value is 3.3. Okay, let me not look into this because this is taken care of the complete arrangement of this table. Okay, we have already used the RPW value in order to arrange this table, and now we are not considering that when it comes to assignment. For assignment, first let me start with, again I have to see the TEK value, the sum of TEK value and the precedent. Both of these things have to be satisfied, right? So first let me start with the first work allotment. Of course, I will allot this because the precedence is taken care of, and this TK value is less than the TS value, right? So first I will mark workstation work element 1, work element 1, and the TK value allotted is zero point 0.2. So this is marked. Still I have scope of assigning other work element at station 1 because it has not exceeded my TS value of 1 minute. Also the precedence can is taken care of, so one is already marked, it didn't require any precedence. What about 3? Can I go for 3? Yes, I can go for 3 because the precedence of 1 is already satisfied. So next allotment is 3. So here you can see I have given third, the TK value is zero point 0.7. Now when you sum this, it is going to be 0.90. Okay, still I have scope of 0.10, right? 10 seconds. I still have, sorry, yeah, 0.10 minute. I still have the provision for this. Let me see if I can put in some other work element at this station. If I try to put 2, it is zero point 0.4. There's no precedence. Precedence constraint is taken care of. But what about this? It will exceed 1 minute. I cannot allot this. What about 4? 4 I can put, yes. This will become 1 minute. But what about the precedence? It should have 1 and 2 precedence both. Is precedence 2 taken care of? No, it's not taken care of. So I cannot allot the fourth work element to station 1. How about the others? Can I go for any other? No, I cannot go for any other assignment. Either the TK value will exceed 1 minute or the precedence constraint is not satisfied. So I will have to end my station 1 assignment or allocation here itself with having the station time as 0.90. Next, let me now start a new station. This means what? At first station, only these two work elements can be taken care of, or only that work can be performed. After that, let me start with station 2. For station 2, again, I have to start from the beginning of this table. I just cannot start anywhere at random. It has to start from step 1 again. 1 allotted, 2 allotted. These two are already allotted. Now let me go for second. Second needs no precedence. Okay, second work element requires no precedence. So of course this allocation is possible. What is the allotment? The TK value it is zero point 0.4. So you can see at second workstation I have work element 2 with zero point 0.4 as the TK value. Still I have scope for allocations. Let me again see 1 allotted, 3 allotted, 2 allotted. What about 4? It is 0.1. Yes, I can. What about precedence? 1 and 2 taken care. So I can now allot can also allot this 4. Okay, so here you can see I've allotted 4 with the TEK value as zero point 0.1. So the total of zero point 0.4 and zero point 0.1 is zero point 0.5. Still I have scope because I have a limit of the TS value being 1 minute, right? So next, can I put 8.6? No, it will exceed the TK value. Also the precedence, yeah, it satisfies the precedence, but zero point 0.6 will exceed the TK values, the sum of TK value. Like, let's see, for 5 is zero point 0.3. Okay, 5 I can put. Precedence, yes, 2. It is taken care. Once you allot, you just cancel that particular allocation, that particular line, you just strike off so that it avoids confusion, and it also helps you in reallocating any of the work elements which you have already allocated or already assigned. Okay, 5. So the total now is zero point 0.4 plus zero point 0.1 plus zero point 0.8, that is, it sums up to be 0.80. Sorry, zero point 0.4, zero point 0.1 and zero point 0.3. The sum of this is zero point 0.8. So let me see if there can be further assignment or allocation that can be done. So once I strike off this 5, I just cannot start continuing. After every striking, you have to start from the step 1. So 1 assigned, 3 assigned, 2 assigned, 4 assigned, 8. Can I put 8? No, TK value is zero point 0.6, it's more. What about 7? It's 0.32, it will exceed the TK value. What about 6? 0.11. Yes, this can be taken in. So allot this. So this is 6. It is 0.11. Now when you sum up all of this, you get the answer as 0.91. It is not exceeding the TS value of 1. And any further allocation, if you want to do, it will either exceed the TS value or maybe the precedence constraints are not satisfied. Okay. So once this allocation is done, you close that particular workstation, go for a new workstation. You have to keep doing this until all the work elements that you see here get some assignment or are assigned to one or the other workstation. So let me now start with third workstation. At third workstation, when I start allocating, I have to again start from the top. 1 done, 3 done, 2, 4, let's see, 8. Yes, 3 and 4 have to be it should be preceded by this, and it is already assigned 3 and 4, so we can go for 8. So I will assign 8.6 is the value. Again, repeat from top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all of this. What about 7? Can I put 7? Yes, I can put 7. Precedence 3 is required, that is there, and 0.32 does not exceed 1 minute, so 7. What is the total? 0.92. Can I add anything ahead further? No, either the precedence or the TK values will not satisfy the conditions. So let me close the station 3 here itself. Now let me go for station 4. Station 4 is here. Let me just start with allocation. Okay, so it's already, all of these which are there on top are already allotted. So let me directly start with 10, because 0.38 less than 1 minute I can consider, and precedence of 5.8 already allotted. So even this can be taken. So 10 is my allocation. Next, starting again from the top, let's see if 9 can be put in. Yes, you can put 9 also, because it's 0.27 and precedence is also 6, 7, 8. All of those are already allotted, and the sum of it is 0.65. Okay, if I want to go for any further allocation, say 11, it's 0.5, it will exceed 1 minute. What about this 0.12? I cannot, because the precedence of 11 is still not met. So close this table here itself. Sorry, close this workstation here itself. Next, take another workstation. Let me start from 11.6 to 0.5. 9 and 10 constraints are already assigned. So 11 is also assigned. Can I further add something? Yes. TK value will still be satisfying the condition. and also the precedence. So last allocation is this 12th one. Likewise, you allot all of these. So you get station 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you have number of stations as 5 here. So this you have to use in order to find the line balance efficiency EB, which is given by N into TS. Now what is this TS value? It is always the maximum station value. In our case, it is the 0.92. Okay. Likewise, for all other stations, for all other methods, if you consider the Kilbridge and Wester method or the largest candidate rule, we had the station value as 1. It used to be 1 minute, right? With respect to all the allocations, you observe whatever is the maximum station time that you get here, that will be the time that you consider here. It's not just the TS value that you get, which is the service time. It is not always this value. Okay, it's not that. You have to see which is the maximum station time that you get here, like the bottleneck station time, you can say. In our case, it is point. In our case, it is 0.92. So you have to substitute TWC value, of course, the TK value, sum of this. Um, So you have this line balance efficiency given by TWC upon N into TC. Sorry, N into TS it is. Okay. So we know TWC value will be 4 minutes. Number of stations we just found it is 5. And TS value will be the maximum station time that you get after all the allocations. So in our case, it is 0.92. So you have to just calculate and get the answer for this. I suppose you'll get the answer as 0.87. So the line efficiency here will be 87 percentage. The same thing if you consider for the largest candidate rule or the Kilbridge and Wester method, you have the line balance efficiency as 80% for both. And for this particular ranked position weight method, the line balance efficiency is 87%. So you can see how these different methods are going to be how basically how this rank position method can be giving you better results as compared to LCR or the Kilbridge and Wester method. So basically, what happens is out of all the three methods, depending upon the problem statement that you have, you can actually implement all the three methods and check out which is giving you the best results or which is giving you the maximum line efficiency. Choose that particular method, and based on that, whatever are the assignments or the allocations, you do those in your industry, implement those. So any problem statement given, you can solve it with all the three methods and see whichever is giving you a better efficiency, use that method for all the allocations. So this is how you solve the problem for the Kilbridge and for the rank position weights method. Any doubts in this? Rank position weights method, it provides better solutions than LCR and Kilbridge and Wester method. Performance of a given line balancing algorithm depends on the problem to be solved. Some line balancing methods work better on some problems while other methods work better on the other problems. So this is how you solve the problems with all the three methods. Almost 50% of all the problems how you solve remains the same. just some prior considerations with respect to Kilbridge and Wester method and the rank position weights method. Okay, so descending order is one thing that you always have to remember. You have to remember that the TEK value should not exceed the service time limit of 1 minute in our case here in this problem. And you also have to consider the precedence constraints whenever you go for any assignments or allocations of work elements to the workstations. So I hope this is clear, and if you all have any doubts, you all can ask me now. Any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we are left with the automated assembly lines. I will take it in the next class. There is going to be an expert talk arranged for you all in this week, maybe on Thursday or Friday. It depends upon the availability of the subject expert, the industry expert who is there. So I will let you know whether it will be on Thursday or it will be on Friday. It will be for 1 hour max, that is for 45 minutes. So we will have either on Thursday or Friday one class which will be engaged by the industry expert. And it's a request for you all to please attend that. Just I just hope the strength will not be so less, because we are arranging for these experts, and they are quite well in their professions and this field. So just to give you all a proper exposure of how the things that you all are studying are actually being used in the industry, which is going to be no doubt interesting. So make sure that you please share this with your friends also, that we'll have an expert talk sometime in this week on Thursday or Friday. So we'll stop here. If you all have any doubts, you all can just contact me personally also, or maybe during the next class after the expert talk, you all can just ask me for those doubts. Because this part will be included for your internals, as your internals have got postponed. So this will be a part of your internals as well. Okay, shall we stop here now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.